So today we are here with the infamous DK.
We asked the audience about his contribution to RCB.
He had done many good things for RCB.
And the shots he plays are absolutely magnificent.
He is the backbone of the RCB.
First time I met DK and I found him to be very amusing, hyperactive, never stopping.
And we're going to learn a little bit about the rules of cricket, the incredible sport that is the pride of so many parts of the world and is now taking over the globe.
Yes. I went to the mall and I saw two American people speaking about cricket. I was fascinated. They didn't understand it too much, but you can see the word is out there about cricket, and that I quite enjoyed.
I think it's amazing, and I'm really excited. See, there's many sports played with some sort of a stick and some sort of a ball. So what makes cricket unique? And if you were to explain it in like 30 seconds, 1 minute to somebody, what would your basic premise be?
Oh, wow. I've not been asked a question because I'm just trying to think of the best way to answer it. In a concise manner would be a challenge between bat and ball, where the bowler is expected to bowl in a certain place where the batters are allowed to hit, because beyond a certain place it becomes a wide, and then you try and hit it the furthest place possible, either along the ground or in the air, and the team that scores more runs wins the game.
I think that's a great explanation. You're going to be commentating some matches, the T20 matches in the US and surrounding regions.
Correct.
How does that feel?
I'm very excited. I have to say a lot of effort must have been put into keeping the ground clean, making sure the pitches are good and all of that. I'm very keen to see how the commentary boxes are. Sometimes they're not given too much importance, so I have to go and see how they are.
And in your career, because you've been ace wicketkeeper, batsman, commentator also for many, many years, what do you think has changed as the sport has gotten more global?
Well, the diaspora of people watching it for a start have become very, very different to what it was a decade ago.
Yeah.
The main target audience of the current broadcasters are obviously the young people, because the more young boys and girls watch it, better chances you'll have long-term fans.
Absolutely.
And it is very obvious that a lot of the younger fans are very fascinated about the shorter formats of the game, which is T20, and they are very attracted by how quick it is. In a way, it is cricket's answer to football. It's short, sharp.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of takers for it, and IPL in a very short time has achieved what many historic competitions have achieved, like EPL and NFL and all of that, in terms of just viewership. So
absolutely,
it's a good place to be for cricket right now.
Explain the rules in the most, like cricket for dummies.
First of all, we took the wrong direction, but now we're back on track. That's it. There's obviously the wicketkeeper that stands right behind the batter. There's a batter and a bowler for a start. And then there are 9 fielders. There is wicketkeeper. There is what they call slips. There used to be, now again, gender equality came here as well, because there are certain field positions used to be, for lack of a better word, they used to call it a third man. And I think they don't say that anymore. They just use the word third now.
A third.
And then there used to be something called fine leg end. I don't know why. I really don't know why. But there's been debate about it, and now they just called a deep fine fielder. And then there are many other. There's point, there's covers, there is extra cover, there's mid-off, mid-on, mid-wicket, square leg. There's something called the long stop, which is straight behind the keeper. These are the basic field positions. There's also a couple of fielders that are very, very close by. In test matches, it happens a lot more.
Yeah.
Silly point and short leg is what they call those fielders, backward short leg. So there are plenty of positions, but why they were named, I really don't know.
We're doing a rapid fire cricket terms. Go. What is a googly?
In general terms, anything that you expect and the opposite happens, it's a googly.
Okay.
In cricketing terms, if there's a leg spinner who gets the ball going away, but if he's able to bring the ball back in, it's called a googly. To the right hand.
To the right. What does ODI stand for?
ODI is One Day International. So there are 3 formats in cricket: Test cricket, ODI, and T20.
And what's your favorite, personally?
I enjoy watching Test and T20.
The 2 extremes. What is LBW?
Leg before wicket.
To somebody who is not familiar with the sport, what exactly does that mean?
Wow. There are many intricacies to an LBW, but the basic one and the best way to put it is, if the ball strikes the leg in front of the wicket, it's an LBW.
What is a yonker?
Yorker. Yorker is one where when a bowler bowls at you and it just pitches right next to the stump or just the crease and you're not able to get out. I mean, you jam the ball as it bounces. That's called a Yorker.
What is a wide?
So there are 2 lines on the sides. So there's offside and leg side. And if it goes beyond that line, it's called a wide.
I might be pronouncing it very Indian, but what's a Mankad?
Mankad out.
Mankad.
Oh, that's a big controversy going around. There is a run out that you can get out. This is a form of run out. Ideally, it should be called a run out, but because the first person to do it was an Indian called Mankad, it's stuck where a bowler runs up and without bowling, he just gets the runner run out. Somebody standing at the non-striker, as they call it.
And what's an offside?
So there are two types of batters. One is a right-hander and one is a left-hander. For a right-hander, anything on the right is offside. For a left-hander, anything on the left is offside.
What is infield versus outfield?
In cricket, there's something called the 30-yard circle that's drawn with the center as the stump. All the fielders within the 30 yards is called infield, and anybody outside that is outfield.
Besides what it literally describes, what is a wicket? Or where did that term come from?
Wicket is a group of 3 stumps. That's called a wicket. Then there's the pitch. That also is referred to as a wicket sometimes. Pitch is the area where you bat and
Yeah. Any other term that you think?
bowl, caught out, run out, LBW is one.
Yeah.
Many like that. There are also shots, pull shot, cut shot, cover drive, straight drive. There are many such shots. And also different types of balls and bowlers like leg spinner, off spinner, left arm spinner, medium pacer, fast bowler.
There's many, I guess.
Many sub-skill sets to all the skills.
And if somebody watches you on CrickBuzz, they'll see you talking about these.
Yes, definitely. Explaining how it's done.
Yeah.
And why it's done.
As a commentator, how sharp does your eye have to be?
Sharp enough to call the right moment.
Yeah. What skills do you think it takes to be a good commentator?
Should be able to speak fluently in a very concise manner without it being too long so the viewers get bored. And most importantly, have a sense of humor about it as well. Keep it very light.
Yeah.
People don't want very heavy stuff. They're at the end of the day watching it at their home to have fun. It's entertainment. So you got to keep that at the heart of it. It's entertainment. So you got to entertain people.
When you started commentary, did you have a special commentator's voice?
I don't think I'm good enough for that.
People have their unique
I've
voices.
heard that.
Yeah.
I haven't met any cricket commentator having different voices for commentary. But somebody can come up with that. Why not?
It's like the RJ of the space. Okay. I know you've been playing cricket from a very young age.
Yeah.
What was that moment that you felt the love for the sport?
It started mainly because my dad was a failed cricketer and he used to make me watch matches. He used to take me to ground. He used to just sit with me and watch matches. That's where the love of the game started. When I saw the 1992 World Cup for the first time, along with my dad, and Sachin Tendulkar was playing, and then I fell in love with him, and then the game, and then I just took it up.
I love that. And speaking of Sachin, what is your thought on people's leadership styles? Whether it's a Sachin, a Virat, a Rohit, a Dhoni, or anybody.
Everybody's got their own styles. At the end of the day, when you're dealing with a group of individuals, it's all about empathy and trying to get the best out of those people. So man management, how good you are at it. Not all 5 fingers on this hand are similar shape or size. So that's how human beings are. You get varied types. You got to work with them and make them collectively work as a unit.
That's super true. I think the key to pretty much anything. And what I've seen from your journey is you have played in different positions. You've been commentating for a long time. And it seems like you are somebody who is extremely grounded when it comes to your passion for the sport, but also as a human. I guess what makes you stay focused and grounded?
India is a country of 1.3 billion people. And almost most of them want to play the sport.
Yeah.
So if you want to excel at it, you have to keep at it. Basically means that you got to work your backside off. So in a nutshell, you need to work really hard.
Work really hard.
In India, play cricket means you got to do everything possible.
And what are your thoughts on the current global teams, such as the US team?
PK, can I take a picture with you? You're like absolutely awesome. The commentary is next level. And RCB season, we'll miss you a lot. Your post-retirement is sorted. Yeah. For next 20 years, I'm going to watch you on CrickBuzz every day. Right. Thank you so much. I hope you do the commentary for the Indian channels as well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I guess since these lovely fans of yours brought up your retirement, how are you feeling about that?
I'm happy. I'm happy with what I've achieved. No regrets. So it's only a matter of time before I call it a day. And it just so happened that RCB had a good run and me personally as well. So I'm culminated into a very happy retirement.
I guess you start this sport and this profession knowing that you'll have a relatively early retirement compared to other professions. Is it something you planned for earlier on?
No.
No?
Whole and sole aim was to do as well as I could for the country. You don't think about retirement when you play. Right? As you keep getting older, it does cross your mind sometimes. And then you make a choice depending on whatever's happening around you. Your family, your body, where you are, the sport, etc., etc.
Well, you've done an amazing job. Thank you for your service to the country and to the sport and everything else. So baseball and cricket are both sports that use a bat and a ball, and there are similarities, but there's many differences.
Correct.
So we're gonna try to take a look at what the differences
So
are.
you're going to represent baseball.
I'm team baseball, and you are team cricket. So let's talk about the bat first.
Okay.
So in baseball, your bat is round,
Cricket, it's flat on one side.
and when I stand as a baseball player, I'm holding it up.
Most players keep their bat down, not all though.
We're the ones, the exceptions.
Like there's a new batter from Australia called Jake Fraser McGurk. He holds the bat up like a baseball.
Up like a baseball.
In fact, a lot of power hitting that is now incorporated in cricket is very in sync with what they do in baseball.
What do you think they should learn from cricket?
How to catch a ball without the baseball mitt.
So the next category is going to be gear and
Yeah.
protective gear.
Yeah.
I have protective gear for pretty much most of my players.
Batters have protective gear. Wicket keepers have protective gear.
Are fielders allowed to have protective gear?
No.
Speaking of, let's go to the ball. My ball is white with some red striations,
Okay.
and it's made of essentially cork.
Cricket ball is made of cork as well. The main part is cork. Around that is leather. And there's white stitching if it's a red ball. If it is a white ball, there's obviously green stitching on it.
But cricket balls are way harder than baseballs.
Yes, it does hurt if you get hurt. If you get hit of a cricket ball,
I can only imagine.
it is painful.
Whenever I lose a ball, whenever somebody hits a home run in baseball, we pick up a new ball.
In cricket, no. You try and get the ball, retrieve the ball back from the crowd, and you use the same ball as much as possible.
Is that for continuity?
Continue. Absolutely.
So strategy-wise, would I want to have my better batsmen play with the newer or the aged version of the ball?
It depends on the pitch. Certain pitches it's better to play with the new ball. Certain pitches it's better to play with the older ball. But you don't change the batting order just for the batter to play differently. The opening batters always play the new ball. The middle order batters and the lower order batters always play with the older ball.
Older ball. Speaking of, the pitch doesn't really matter in baseball.
It matters the most in cricket.
What are the aspects, the elements of the pitch that matter?
The types of soil used, certain places there's more clay content, certain places there's lesser clay content. Some pitches have grass in it, some pitches have no grass in it, etc., etc.
So it sounds like a lot of cricketers know geography.
That's a discussion we need to have for another day.
The number of players in baseball are about 9 to 10.
In cricket, it's 11.
Every
11
time.
play 11, yeah. Unless it's IPL, where now because of the impact player rule, 12 plays 12.
12 plays 12. So the maximum score I can have in baseball is 4 per ball. It's called a home run.
In cricket, 6 is the maximum. In absurd cases, they can also have a 7 if there's an overthrow. Very rare.
Very rare.
Out of a 7, but there's been a few 5s actually. Like
So it's 4, 5, 6
4, 5, 6 is maximum.
is maximum.
4 and 6 you can do.
Yeah.
In terms of you can score a 4 or a 6. 5 has to happen thanks to the fielding side if they make an error.
How often has that happened in your career?
I'm sure. Quite a few times. Quite
Yeah?
a few times, yes. Quite a
Wow.
few times.
So let's talk about the field. The way baseball is played is almost as if the field is a triangle.
Correct. In cricket, it's 360 degrees. It's a circle. You can hit it any part of the ground.
So when I hit the bat, I have to make sure that it's kind of at a triangle from where the batsmen are.
Yes.
But cricket?
Anywhere. From behind me to in front of me, I can choose to hit the ball anywhere.
So when you train, how do you train at different angles?
Practice all the shots. You got to practice shots in front and you got to practice shots at the back.
Wow. In all cases, should you be hitting it because a baseball is round from all sides, right?
Correct.
But it's almost striated the way that a cricket bat is, right? You have like the flatter side and you have the bulkier side. So how do you practice hitting it from?
Oh, you use the flatter side to hit the cricket ball. It's
Yeah.
about what positions you can get into to hit the ball depending on where the ball is.
Let's talk about duration. Our matches typically get over in the equivalent of what your T20 match would be.
In cricket, there are 3 formats. There's Test cricket, which takes 5 days. There's ODI cricket, which takes 1 day almost. 8 to 9 hours. 8 hours, let's say 8 hours. And there's a T20, which gets over in 3 hours.
How does one play for 5 days?
How does one play? It basically starts, most countries, it starts at 9:30 and finishes at 4:30. There's a lunch break for 40 minutes and there's a tea break for 20 minutes. You got to understand, cricket was started in England.
Yeah,
Where it used to be cold, so they used to have a tea break as well in between. So that's where tea break came in.
I love that. Let's talk about missing balls. In baseball, 3 strikes and you're out. If the ball comes toward my bat, if it's in that trajectory, I don't hit it, I'm out.
Out. In cricket, I think if I'm right, 11 to 12 ways. I don't know exactly. 12 types of dismissals as they call it. There's bowled, caught, LBW, stump, run out, a few more timed out,
Yeah.
everything else. So there are many different ways to get out. but it's not like you need 3 strikes and out. You could get beaten for 3 balls but still keep playing. Beaten is basically you miss the ball. If the ball hits the bat and you're caught on the full, you're out.
You're out. If it doesn't hit the bat and I keep throwing the ball,
you can get
doesn't matter.
100 times you don't need to touch the ball, you'll still be there. And
has that ever happened?
I'm sure a lot of that.
In baseball, at any given point, you can have 4 runners because you have the 4 pitches, right? The 4 different bases. And in between plays, I can sneak in a run.
In cricket, you can't do that. There are only 2. One is a batter and one is a non-striker. And then there is no question of in between. Somebody has to bowl for you to score a run.
True. As a sport, we're only played in a limited number of countries, but where all is cricket played?
So the one format test thing is played by 12 countries.
Yeah.
ODI is a little more. I don't know the exact number, but T20 is played almost by a lot of countries in the world. We have Bulgaria and all of these smaller European countries also playing. Serbia. Many countries have just slowly but steadily have started playing the sport. There's not that much infrastructure there, but it'll get there soon.
It'll get there soon. And I guess the similarity is in 2028, we're all both going to be at the Olympics.
27, isn't it?
28.
28?
Yeah.
Wow. I keep getting.
It's just even.
24, 28.
24, 28. Yeah. So we're bidding for 2028. Yeah.
Los Angeles.
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
T20, yeah.
T20. How do we feel about that?
Brilliant. The fact that MLC started in America says that there's going to be good infrastructure. The tournament, the T20 franchise version of the American tournament is going to be there for at least 5 years then. So there'll be some good grounds and I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun.
I think it'll be amazing. And what are your predictions on cricket as a sport? Do you think you're going to overtake baseball?
I really wish we do. It's far more interesting sport.
The colors you wear are cooler, in my opinion.
Yes. Cricket kit in terms of uniform this year for the World Cup as well.
Yeah, and you have the sponsors just on display.
Yes, very much so. That's where the money comes.
That is where the money comes in. And yeah, have you ever watched a baseball game? No? I'm curious to know, next time you watch it, to see what you think baseball can learn from cricket.
I will try. I haven't heard it being that interesting, but you never know until you understand the game.
Do you think now there's so much more interest in the US with watching cricket? What kinds of spaces do you think people should practice in?
Open grounds.
Any open ground.
Most open grounds you can play cricket in. Obviously, you need a pitch. That is, technically, that's a tough part of setting it up. There's a lot of indoors. In a lot of places where the weather is consistently warm throughout, like I've heard in Dallas, there's great cricket facilities. Miami, there's great cricket facilities. So these are places that already in certain states that cricket is played almost throughout the year.
I love it. Maybe cricket will take over the world. You never know.
That's the aim.
That's the aim. What are your thoughts on women's cricket and how we can make that, bigger and better?
I'm a big fan of women's cricket. As much as the T20 format has grown, women's cricket has grown as well. A few years ago, India reached the final of the World Cup and MCG to the packed house. There's some great signs for cricket. WPL has been around for 2 years.
Yeah.
And you can see the growth in women's cricket. The number of tournaments played by them, the match fees increasing, the kind of life that most women who are able to choose cricket as a profession are leading today. So these are very, very good signs. And I'm a big fan of women's cricket. I follow it very closely. I have a few friends as well who play the sport. So I have a lot of time for these women cricketers and they're doing a fabulous job.
It's amazing to see, and I'm curious, for example, Deepika is Padma Shri, incredible sports person as well. How do you think we can tackle the double standard we still have in the gender around sports?
Well, I can speak for cricket. I can definitely say that in cricket, it's changed a lot. The disparity in pay that used to be there is not there anymore. BCCI have made the match fees same for both men and women, which is a great gesture by BCCI. Even in tennis, they made the pay parity the same. Deepika was one of the front runners to do it in squash. She fought for it. She didn't play nationals because she wanted the same pay for both men and women. So that way, the world is evolving and you can see gender equality happening in a big way.
Which is amazing.
It is, without a doubt, and the world requires it. And I'm a big believer that women can do most things that men can do as well in any walk of life. And it's great to see that happening.
Yeah, absolutely. What are your thoughts on franchise versus country cricket expanding globally?
For a start, cricket has always been something that has always been a sport played between countries.
Yeah.
But now franchise cricket is just taken over the world by storm because the revenue generated in a lot of the tournaments obviously are very good.
Yeah.
The biggest challenge for ICC, International Cricket Council, is to try and strike a balance between making sure the players are very, very interested and engaged in playing for the country and obviously finding time to play for some franchises as well.
A young person who wants to take up the sport as a profession today or just have more of an interest in it.
Cricket is a great sport, irrespective of which part of the world you are. It's a great sport. Beauty is when you're associated with sport, the greatest life lesson is the fact that you learn to deal with failures very consistently. So that helps you grow as a human being. So it's very important whether you're in school, uni, wherever, it's important to play sport. So more often than not, we'll toughen you up mentally. And when you do go on to other walks of life, whether you take up the sport professionally or you do something else, it will always keep you in good stead. And for all people who choose cricket as a profession, it's a very good sport. It's one that is highly rewarding, and it has its moments where it will really make you think twice as to why you've chosen it. All things said and done, it's something that is very fulfilling, and it's a journey which can be very spiritual also if you choose it to be, in terms of how focused, how determined, how dedicated you can be towards achieving what you want to do.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you so much.
Thank you.